Coach, what are the pros and cons? You're facing Duluth now 5th, 6th, maybe 7th time in a season. What are the things you can take out of the first 4?
I mean, just it's how tight it is in this league. You know, anybody can beat anybody. You know, all 4 games are tight. 1 regulation win between the 4. So we know they're good. We know they're going to be coming in playing for their season just like we are. So expect a good series.
Where does your game need to beat Duluth?
Where does it need to be?
Yeah, how do you need to play against Duluth to get them success?
We need to break out pucks. Pucks, I think, cleaner than we have against them. That's what we've really been focusing on. They're a really good forechecking team. But at the end of the day, we like our chances against anybody if we're clicking on all cylinders and we're healthy, which we are. You know, minus Benji. You know, we love our chances here at home.
How do you go about breaking out pucks better?
Just keep pucks moving, right? Just got to play fast. The first, half of the season, we were really going back for pucks and getting out clean and just playing fast. And it's all about knowing what you're going to do with it before you get it, right? And not letting them establish a forecheck. So that's going to be the key. Playoff hockey, you want to establish a forecheck and not let teams establish one on you. And I think that the team that does that better this weekend will be the team that wins.
How does it feel to be in the situation where you're the number 2 seed and you got a lot of work ahead to be an NCAA tournament team?
I mean, is there one side of it that's frustrating because in the history of this league, the 2 seed's always been a lock. And this year, like I've said, the computer loves Hockey East, and it is what it is. There's nothing we can do about it. Doesn't mean we have to agree with it. But at the end of the day, the system's a system, and we still have work to do in order to get in. Right now, in our room, we're not even talking about the NCAA tournament. We're talking about trying to win a trophy, and if we win a trophy, everything takes care of itself. Do I think we have to win the trophy to advance to the tournament? No, I don't. But we need to have a good run here, right? We need to have a good run here in order to make it happen. So, we're focused on trying to bring a trophy back home in a week from now and a week and a half from now up in St. Paul. And in order to get there, we have to have a great weekend against a historic program in Duluth, who obviously has had not the results of the kind of year that they want, but they're a very young, talented team with a huge future in front of it. And they have a coach that's won, national championships. So we're excited to just focus on what we've accomplished and experience playoff hockey here in Mullet, and not have to get on a plane today or tomorrow to go play is a big advantage for us.
How much do you take away from those games in the regular season against Duluth, or do you think that postseason hockey is going to be a completely different animal?
I think it's going to be different, right? I mean, you could feel the energy in our room and on the ice this week has been astronomical. Like, it's been higher than at any point during the season. Guys are excited. Everybody is 0-0 right now, so that's where it's going to be different. Everybody has a second crack at a season in playoff hockey, and it's something that we've never experienced, obviously, and we're excited for. But everybody has their tendencies, and we know how they play. We know what makes them successful. They know how we play. They know what makes us successful. Again, when you play somebody 4 times and then you get them in playoffs, you know what you're getting into. So. But this is why we built the team we built. We built the team with veteran kids, and we were heavy in the portal to go on our first season in this league because we wanted kids that have been through this, and we have kids that have been through this. So while our program hasn't necessarily been through a league playoff, we have a lot of kids in that room who have and have been successful in a league playoff, and that's exactly why we built our roster the way we built it.
If you don't win a trophy, how far do you need to go to give yourself the best standing in the NCAA?
I mean, right now there's a chance. Obviously, you could advance with a quarterfinal win. There's so many things that could happen still. But we're honestly just focused on trying to win this thing. That's the honest to God truth. We're trying to win this playoff. We know we can. We've beaten everybody in the league. We're the only team in the NCHC that has a regulation win against everyone in the league. There's 2 teams in this league that have beaten us in regulation, CC and Omaha. That's it. So we feel like we're the best 5-on-5 team in the league. We feel like what we've done, the body of work, and coming in second place and playing 5-on-5 hockey, regulation hockey, we feel like we're the best team in the league. We stunk in 3-on-3 overtime, and we have 6 losses in 3-on-3 overtime. And the best news about that is that's behind us, because the format in playoffs is it doesn't go to 3-on-3, it's 5-on-5. So we're looking at the positives. We've been an absolute pain in the ass for everybody 5-on-5, and have had the most success out of anybody in the league 5-on-5. And that's the way we're going into playoffs with a lot of confidence.
Are there strategic differences to preparing and or how you do anything with playoff hockey versus regular season?
Just details, habits, and at the end of the day, it's all, everybody's going to be going. Like, these guys are going to, what I was going to say earlier was our energy is really high. I can guarantee you theirs is too, right? They're excited to come in here. Great weather, great place to come for playoff hockey if you got to get on the road and go. I think if you polled anybody in the league where they would pick to go for the playoffs, they're going to pick Tempe. No offense to those other places, but there's still really crappy weather there right now. So they're excited. I'm sure they're excited to come down here and get a second crack at their season. And they probably feel like on their end they've had success against us because they've taken us to overtime 3 times. But no, I don't think preparation-wise there's too much different. It's having belief in your body of work and knowing that can propel you to success, obviously, in the biggest moments. And there's no doubt in our room that we're ready for this.
Have you talked to some of the guys who, like you said, have been in the portal and have been through this before, about kind of spreading some specific message this week, or are they doing that?
They've been doing that all year, just the rigors of conference play and, developing those rivalries, playing teams more than twice, we the way you are able to prepare in a league as opposed to independent, even like Dana, came to us last year, Albie was with us last year, and they had never been through an independent schedule, and their heads were spinning because every weekend it's a different opponent. Every weekend it's preparing for somebody differently, where in the league you get to know the players you're playing against. You get to know the tendencies of other teams and staffs and what they do well and what they maybe you can expose. As an independent, that wasn't the case. You had to really over prepare every weekend for a brand new opponent all season, and so. We've been going through it all year. Again, the roster build wasn't just for now; it was for the entire season to go through our first conference season with players that have done it well, and obviously it worked. We came in second in our first year, picked to finish 8th.
What do you think being in this NCHC conference all year and now hosting a playoff game does for the exposure for the future of the program?
Yeah, obviously, I think it's huge. Again, when you're picked to finish 8th out of 9th, we were a little taken back by that, and certainly I don't blame anybody. They don't know us like we know us, and we were really confident in the way we went out and built our team, and the type of players that we have in that room. We knew we weren't the 8th place team. We knew that from day one. And to have the success and to back up that confidence and to, actually show our hockey community what we're all about and that we're ready to compete with anybody in the country at the very highest level, I think is tremendous. And to be able to host playoff hockey, we took it very seriously, the responsibility to, show that this is a great hockey market. When we lost the National Hockey League, and we wanted to give this hockey community something to be excited about, something to cheer for, something to really get behind. A passionate group of players and a passionate group of people representing a program here in the desert, and we've done that, and I think it's going to show this weekend with an unbelievable raucous crowd, and to see college hockey played at the highest level in intense moments.
Do you think that could be more of a factor in the college game, just playing at home in the playoffs as opposed to?
Yeah, I think so. We've actually been a really good road team this year. We've been good at home, not as good as I'd like to be, but a lot of late losses, overtime losses. We've been pretty good at home, but our guys love playing here. They love playing in front of our fans, and like I said, the last 2 home series, the Denver series, the Western Michigan series, the place was electric. The Denver game that we came back and won specifically was a game that we've had great crowds and great fans and great support from day one at Mullet, but it's a work in progress, getting traditions and getting fans to actually become fans and understand the nuances of how teams play and when they need to push buttons to get guys really going. And that Denver game, like we felt like we were outplaying them. We felt like we should have been the team up 5-3, and you could tell that our fans felt the same way. You know, calls weren't going our way. They were frustrated, but they were electric and energetic, and they weren't going to let us go away. And you know, we got the goal to go to 5-4, place explodes, and then we get the big review to tie it at 5-5. And I don't know if I've ever heard this place louder. And we knew on our bench, there's no way we're losing this game, you know. And it felt the same way against Western Michigan. You know, obviously we dropped one in overtime, but it's been incredible. The support has been incredible. We've taken ownership in being this town's hockey team, and we're going to take ownership and continuing to give people here a lot to cheer for here over this next month and a half.
Can you expand more on Duluth's strengths and how that stacks up against your team?
Well, I think their strength is just you know, they have some kids, some young guys up front that are really talented. The Plant brothers are fantastic players, and you know, they're just going to continue to get better and better. But they're kids that when they're on the ice, you have to be aware every time they're on the ice. Their captain, Dominic James, is one of the best two-way centers in all of college hockey. He's played on a World Junior team. He's a draft pick. They have, you know, the kid on the back end that was on this year's World Junior team. Their goaltender has been on Slovakia's World Junior team. He's healthy now. He wasn't healthy when we played him. So they don't really have any holes. They're big on the back end. They have two really good lines as their top six. They're well built. They're well structured. They're well coached. They have everything they need to make a playoff run too. You know, but what we have is a little bit more experience. You know, we have an older team and an older group, and we're playing at home, and it's going to be on us to put them on their heels and make them feel the pressure of playoff hockey, because they're a young team that hasn't been through it. Just like we're a program that hasn't been through it, but we have players that have really been through it.
You just said it not a few minutes ago. You're not as good at home as you wish you were. You're not bad, but you wish you were better.
But
Why
you want
do
to
feel
be dominant at home. You want to be dominant at home. You want to have, you know, a couple losses at home, and that's it. You know, and this year it wasn't the case. I think last year we were a little better here. If you flip the script on the seasons, last year we had an unbelievable team 3-on-3, won a lot of games in overtime, and this year we lost 6. You know, and some big ones were here at home. So, you know, you win those overtime games at home, you probably feel like you're a little bit better at home. But at the end of the day, when you're playing at home, it's all about results, wins and losses. And while we had obviously a winning record at home and had some big wins here, you want to have more.
From a numerical standpoint, your power play versus their penalty kill is a big advantage for you guys. How important is special teams this weekend?
We just got to stay out of the box. We got to be the more mature, more disciplined team, and understand that even, you know, coincidentals and crap after the whistle, even stuff up and going in 4-on-4. It's not what we want. We want to play 5-on-5 hockey. We want to, you know, be disciplined. We were, I think, the third least penalized team in the league in conference play. So we've been a disciplined team all year. We have the top ranked power play in the NCHC in conference play, and we want to put that on display this weekend.
Mullet's always a great atmosphere, but are you expecting it to be even different for maybe like that Denver game or something?
I'm hoping it's at least as good as those two series. I think it will be. You know, I think that we got the whiteout and tickets have flown off. I mean, they think they were almost pretty much sold out by lunch the day they went on sale. There's some left, but not many. So this place should be rocking, you know, and I hope that it is. I'm sure that it is. I know everywhere I go, it's you know, can't wait for playoffs, can't wait for this weekend. So, you know, for me, that's what it's all about. You know, I've been here 17 years, and you know, for the first 14, you know, if I walked into anywhere, you know, nobody knew who the hell I was. You know, now they're talking about playoff hockey and how excited they are to come support us. So it's pretty exciting. It's pretty exciting, especially for people like me that have been here for so long.
What previous experiences do you kind of rely on, if any, from, you said the last 17, but from the NCAA tournament you guys were in, from any of maybe the ACHA tournaments? Is there anything you kind of look back on?
Yeah, I mean, just any time you're in a situation where you're playing to extend your season, the level of intensity and preparation and the amount of detail that you're focused on is elevated. So I've been in plenty of those situations, but I think most importantly, I think for me personally, and I can speak for Hicksy too, because he's been here with me from day one, from the start of the NCAA era. We've worked our asses off for this moment, for these experiences and these situations is what we've really grinded harder than anybody knows in building this program. So we could experience this, and most importantly, watch our players experience this and our fans experience this.
Preparation-wise, health-wise, any benefits being off this past weekend?
Huge, tons of benefits. I mean, just to be able to sit back and watch playoff hockey start, watch crunch time really start in across the country. See teams like Notre Dame knock off Minnesota. Everybody starts 0-0, right? And anyone can beat anybody in playoff hockey. There's a lot of instances across the country that prove that, and that we can draw and make sure that our guys understand. But I think most importantly, just getting healthy, and healing up some bumps and bruises that we had, and making sure the guys are fresh and ready to go going into Friday, and they are.
Last few.
You referenced Pav starting last week. Do you still feel that this week?
Yeah, he'll start Friday.
What's the thought process behind that?
Just experience, and in league play, he's been our better guy. His numbers are better. I think he's a full, percentage and a half point save percentage above where Gibby is. And Gibby's had some great games. His North Dakota game was incredible. He swept us the series up at St. Cloud. He's done some really good things. You may see him, but right now in conference play, Pav's experience has been a little bit better for us, and we got to go with what's given us the most success.
Some of your younger players came to ASU for these opportunities, and they've made good strides through the season. So how excited are you to see what they do in this moment?
Really excited. Everybody in that room came here for this. They whether it's Ty Murchison and Schmags and Benji Eckerly, the guys that played at Oceanside and they're the end of that era when they leave here when our season's done, or any of the freshmen, the Cullen Potters, the three kids on D, all the transfers, they came here for this because we told them, this is what we expect, is we expect to be in these critical moments where we're under the spotlight and we could accomplish really big things that this program's never accomplished. And that's what our mantra is be the tradition. You get to come here and do things that have never been done before, and winning a playoff series has never been done before. So let's be that team that did it. Let's be that team that set the standard when we go into playoffs. We win, and that's what Be the Tradition is all about. And then as we advance, hopefully we continue to play. This is a team that can continue to set those standards for everybody to follow, and that's why we made that mantra from day one.
For the review guys, you guys have been through conference tournaments, been through NCAAs at times. What are you telling some of the younger guys about what playoff hockey's like?
Yeah, I think having that experience, it's not just us, a lot of other guys too. We have a lot of guys who have transferred, but it's different hockey. You gotta give it your all every shift, and they're gonna come out just as hard as us, but we gotta do everything we can each shift to win the hockey game.
Yeah, it's kind of just another level of hockey, I'd say. Obviously, it's a little different than professional hockey, where it's not a best of 7. So we really have to bring it every shift, every play, every game, every battle. So that's kind of the message being sent throughout the locker room.
For both of you guys, how did you feel like you played against Duluth throughout the season, and what are the keys to being successful?
I think honestly we haven't played our best against them. There's definitely a lot of room for improvement, and we've been going over video and things that we need to tighten up, that where we may have struggled in the past 4 games against them. So I think just tightening up those details and obviously coming out with the right mentality.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think we've definitely left some points on the table throughout the regular season against them. That being said, in a lot of the games, I think if we look back, it's just little lapses throughout the game. I thought we just didn't play a complete 60, and that's kind of when they took advantage of us, and we got to make sure that doesn't happen this weekend.
What do they do well?
They're a pretty physical team. They play hard defensively, tight. Their D play hard on the walls, pitching down. So we got to be ready as wings for that, and make sure to get in on the forecheck.
Coach referenced you want to stay out of the box this weekend. How do you guys keep level-headed and not let the atmosphere and the playoffs get to you?
Yeah, I think it's similar to any other game. Just like that mindset and staying even keel no matter like how the fans react, trying to not get too high, not get too low. So and then just using our feet, not putting ourselves in bad positions. It's a bit different in playoffs. There is a lot more energy, but just trying to stay that even keel.
Duluth clogs up the neutral zone, making it hard to kind of go north-south. How do you beat that?
I mean, as forwards, we try to get behind their first and second layers, so we just have a kind of a 3-on-2 behind them with the defensemen. We're probably gonna have to chip some pucks in, which we know. Really establishing forechecks early is gonna be important. Getting pucks below, just kind of push their defense back throughout the game. Hopefully, open up chances later.
Coach talked earlier about how he thought y'all were a good home hockey team, but that you could have been better. He thought you were really good on the road. What do you guys think maybe is the reason why maybe the home results haven't always been what you guys wanted?
Honestly, I'm not too sure. I think maybe just sort of our mentality or just the way the games went at home. But I don't think it plays a massive factor coming into this weekend. It's a new set of 2 games, and we're coming in fresh off a bye week with the right mindset, so we're ready to go.
Yeah, especially in the second half. I mean, we played some great teams at home, and we played some really good hockey games. I would say, just some little bounces going the other way here and there. A couple overtime games just not going our way, but I think looking back, I think we're all really happy with how our season's gone to this point.
How have you guys kind of seen the mental shift as you understand the significance of playoff hockey and kind of the group just upping the intensity a little bit?
I think especially with the off weekend, I mean, guys are ready to go. I mean, you can feel it in practice every day, the last couple days, and last week. I mean, especially with the off week, guys are ready to compete, guys are ready to go. So we're excited.
Do you think bigger picture at all, just about kind of this opportunity to kind of be at this historic moment for this program and what it would mean to make a deep run in the first year of the conference?
I mean, I would say it's hard not to. I mean, obviously we try to take it game by game, shift by shift, period by period, but I mean, obviously, like, you see stuff, and we know it's at stake, so yeah.
Yeah, I would completely agree. I think, like you said, it's definitely hard not to, but just trying to maintain the locker room's focus on one game at a time. Every game in playoffs is obviously super important, with this being a best of 3, and then it would be one game elimination, so just taking it one day at a time.
And you said when you first got here that you really wanted to expand your offensive game here at ASU rather than at Providence. How do you feel like your game has kind of taken steps to the next level here at ASU in your first year?
Yeah, I think I've taken a lot of strides throughout the season. Obviously, really happy with the results statistically. But I just think playing with such talented guys and being allowed to find more open space and make plays has really helped me throughout the year.
Have you guys sensed any shift in Greg Powers in terms of like how he's communicating with you, or his intensity, or certain things that he's pointing out going into the playoffs, or is it very similar?
I'd say it's pretty similar. He's kind of switched it a little bit, just in the sense that our regular season is over, and just wanted to congratulate us on how well we've done up to this point. But I think the focus stays the same. We're just focusing one game at a time. It's not like any other regular season game, but we're treating it that we're doing the same routine and preparing the same way.
Bennett, are you nursing through an injury, or is it just taped up for practice?
Just taped up for practice. I'm all right.